Welcome to Insightful. You're listening to an engaging, easy-to-understand, bite-sized series of lessons on trending topics. The upcoming few minutes will keep you in the loop, help you grow at work or in your personal life, as well as provide some engaging conversation starters. Let's dig in and invest our time to get forward. Turning FOMO into JOMO, the joy of missing out. Have you ever found yourself thinking about staying away from social media for a couple of days, months, or even considered deleting all of your accounts? It's that time when your mental overload reaches its limit and simply asks for a break. Nowadays, when a revolution in society occurs, many of us join from the comfort of our own couches. We share excerpts from great philosophers, poets, entrepreneurs, or psychologists, claiming to be actively protesting against the issues that trouble humanity. But does it really make us rebels, outliers, or influencers if we express our beliefs merely through social media posts? Aren't we just trapped in the daily habit of continuously browsing our feeds throughout the entire day? Even small kids are now reported to reproduce the characteristic movement of scrolling down entirely naturally. And that's how we fool ourselves into thinking that we are active participants in life, every single day. We wait for comments and likes as trophies for our social revolution that starts with Facebook and ends with our next Insta story. Human solidarity and real communication are questioned more than ever before, as most people connect to the rest of the world virtually, hiding behind their phone screens. That doesn't mean that social networks should be blamed. Their real purpose is to be used by us. The fact that we allow social media to use us in return is our own choice. Global research shows that self-isolation, anxiety disorders, and depression have increased rapidly due to the overuse of social networks. There are people who only live through social platforms for several hours daily, while ongoing conversations with unknown friends has become a routine for many. In most cases, when these very same users are asked if they would be willing to meet their online friends in person, they answer negatively or confess that they would only be interested in the occasional meetup. The effects of the trending FOMO, or fear of missing out, are increasing rapidly. Research demonstrates that almost 4 out of 10 young people experience FOMO at some point in their lives, or frequently. And interestingly, men are more likely to develop this fear than women. FOMO is defined as a pervasive habit of the individual's desire to remain constantly connected to what others are doing, which results in nonstop online activity on social media profiles and minimal real-life exchanges. In other words, it is a type of social anxiety that includes the fear of being left out of important social experiences or socializing. A person suffering from FOMO develops recurring stress and the need for overusing social networks. People with low levels of psychological satisfaction are more at risk, as they are the easiest victims of the online world. It's mostly them facing increased rates of disconnection and self-isolation. With the development of technology, psychological dependence on social networks is rapidly increasing, and the use of the internet is characterized as pathological in many cases. Panic attacks or increased rates of depression are a usual occurrence and really tricky to deal with if a person suffering from mental illness does not significantly reduce the use of social networks. It is not a coincidence that depressed or anxious people tend to spend dozens of hours on social media to fill the void and avoid live communication and quote-unquote real life. It is reported that people experiencing FOMO and other anxiety disorders appear to have higher levels of loneliness and isolation. The self-disposition theory argues that a person's psychological satisfaction is linked to competence, autonomy, and correlation, constituting 3 basic psychological needs. People with lower levels of psychological satisfaction appear to be more vulnerable to social media. Many surveys prove how important personal contact and intimate relationships are for improving mental health. A study by Pshibilsky released a critical finding. FOMO and increased social phobia were more common in those who had unsatisfied psychological needs, such as the need to be liked, accepted, or respected by others. In short, who doesn't want to have a strong social media presence to understand, accept, and communicate with other people? But the truth is out there. The sooner we know the fine line between overuse, misuse, and the productive use of social platforms, the higher the chances to achieve development on a mental, social, and human level. Once we understand that the potential pain, emptiness, and stress is much more intense and destructive for our mental stability than we could ever imagine, we can start balancing our real and digital life. Taking a step back and maintaining a healthy distance from all screens can bring us closer to ourselves, our autonomy, and self-sufficiency, and help us get up from the couch and become more stable and fulfilled as a whole. Genuine relationships don't need any likes to be confirmed. Trust and acceptance are built through hundreds of hours of contact in real time and space, and there is no way to cheat that.